Hi, Monica friends. I'm Mrs. Amy. I teach first grade. Today I'm going to read you a story called Wabi Sabi, and it's set in Japan. The author of this book is Mark Reibstein, art by Ed Young. The story today is about a little cat that lives in Kyoto. She learns about her name. I hope you enjoy it.
Awesome.
Hello, and welcome to the story Wabi Sabi by Mark Reibstein, art by Ed Young. Wabi Sabi was a cat who lived in Kyoto, Japan. One day, visitors from another country asked Wabi Sabi's master what her name meant. It had never occurred to her that Wabi Sabi was anything more than her name. Wabi Sabi watched as her master drew breath through her teeth, shook her head, and said, "That's hard to explain." The cat's tail twitching, she watches her master, still waiting in silence. Curious now, Wabi Sabi wondered if her friend Snowball could explain the meaning of her name. Snowball, who had been napping, stretched, yawned, and sighed. "That's hard to explain," she blinked. "It's a kind of beauty," she added after a minute, her eyes closing again. As though dreaming, she went on. "An old straw mat, rough on cat's paw, pricks and tickles, hurts and feels good too." Then Snowball went back to sleep. Wabi Sabi wasn't sure she understood, but she didn't want to bother Snowball anymore. So she asked Rascal the dog if he knew about Wabi Sabi. Rascal was smart, but kind of mean. "That's too hard to explain to someone like you," he snapped. Then, almost to himself, he said, "Poor Wabi Sabi, as simple as a brown leaf. So ordinary." "Now I'm even more confused," sighed Wabi Sabi. "Am I beautiful or ordinary? Can anyone explain Wabi Sabi to me?" she cried. A bird flying by thought the question was for her. "That's hard to explain," she said to Wabi Sabi, "but there is someone who can help you. His name is Kosho, and he lives on Mount Hiei to the east. A wise old monkey living among the pine trees knows Wabi Sabi." "Thank you," said Wabi Sabi, and off she went to learn what her name meant. To get to Mount Hiei, she had to cross through the city. Dazzled by big buildings, shiny glass, and sleek cars, awed by the busy, sharply dressed people, she wondered if these pretty things could be Wabi Sabi. She decided that if her name was true to her, it must be softer, quieter, darker. Even in cities, before the shock of new light, the colors of dusk. A short time after Wabi Sabi entered the woods, she arrived at the foot of Mount Hiei. The woods were dark now, so hoping to find Kosho in the morning, she curled up beneath an old pine tree and went on to sleep. She awoke to the sounds of a stick stirring and tapping. A warm bowl of tea offered by a monkey. "Please." Steam rising gently. Very glad to have the tea and company, she said. "Thank you. My name is Wabi Sabi." "That's wonderful," the monkey replied. Encouraged, she asked, "Do you know what that means?" "Well, that," he began. "I know, hard to explain," she said, but he went on. "The pale moon resting on foggy water. Hear that splash? A frog's jumped in." that, Wabi-sabi? She asked. Is that all? I don't know if I can. It's more, said the monkey. Listen, watch, feel. He said no more, so she watched him make tea. He moved slowly but gracefully, as if he were dancing, and he handled his things as if they were gold, although they were wooden or clay. Wabi-sabi felt what was in her paws. A warm, heavy bowl, comfortable as an old friend, not fine, smooth china. She looked carefully at the woods surrounding them. There was so much life as in the city, but here things were not clean, neat, or sharp-edged. There were no straight lines, yet there were many designs on trees, in clouds, and dirty ponds. She saw that everything was alive and dying too, like the damp autumn leaves curled beneath their feet. Simple things are beautiful, she heard the monkey say as he poured more tea for her. Looking down at the tea in her bowl, seeing herself plain and beautiful, she whispered, Now I understand. After some time, Wabi-sabi thanked her new friend and started home. Because she did not hurry, she found a place called Ginkakuji, the Silver Temple. There was nothing silver there, but she found the place to be very beautiful, in a wabi-sabi kind of way. Although the buildings and gardens were shaped by humans, they were neither fancy nor grand. Moved by the natural simplicity of the place, Wabi-sabi composed 3 short poems about what she saw. Yellow bamboo stalks. Bow by tea house doors so low. Emperors must kneel. Dark buildings, floating, sit on white sand seas. A stream, sweet small stones chanting. The monk returns leaves to just raked sand. This humble cat might understand. Tired but glad, Wabi-sabi returned at last to her home. She curled up on the straw mat in the kitchen, enjoying the warmth there. She could smell the wind in her fur and feel her long journey's steps deep in her bones. The last sun's rays stretch. A silver brushstroke shivers on warm clouded glass. Now I think I know what to call this feeling, she said to herself. It. Wabi-sabi, cried her master, seeing her. Where have you been? That's hard to explain, she purred, feeling simply and beautifully at home. The end.